I was only 11 when I thought I had invented something revolutionary, something that gave me immense pleasure. Yes, you guessed it right, I thought I had invented masturbation. Ah, the innocence of youth. As a young boy stepping into puberty, I was discovering new aspects of my body. It was an exploration, a voyage of sorts. Every day was like a new chapter in an unfolding mystery. One day I stumbled upon a sensation that was thrilling, something that was mine and mine alone. I felt like a genius who had made a groundbreaking discovery. The excitement was overwhelming. It was as if I had unlocked a secret that had been hidden away from the world. I was on cloud 9, reveling in my newfound knowledge. Little did I know I was just one of the millions who were already on this path. As time went on, what started as a joyful discovery turned into an addiction. The novelty of my invention soon wore off, and I found myself trapped in its grip. I was young, naive, and thought I was invincible. But I was wrong. This is my story. A story of downfall, a story of addiction, a story of a life consumed by a secret habit. My name is Simon, and this is my plea for help. Now, as a 32-year-old man, I am still a prisoner of my own addiction. The words echo in my mind, a constant reminder of the battle I face every day. The struggle with my own desires, the tug-of-war between my will and my addiction, has been a constant in the story of my life. I've tried to quit numerous times, each time with renewed determination and a hopeful heart. However, the harsh reality is that my attempts have been met with failure, time and time again. My addiction escalated rapidly. What began as an occasional indulgence quickly spiraled into a daily routine, then an hourly necessity. I was a slave to my own desires, unable to resist the urge, no matter the time or place. My education, my first casualty. I'd sit in class, my mind wandering, distracted by the thought of my next session. Homework, studying, tests, they all took a backseat to my addiction. My grades plummeted and my academic future grew dim. I was squandering my potential, my future, on momentary pleasure. My social life was no different. I became a recluse, avoiding friends and family to indulge in my addiction. The fear of being discovered, the shame of my secret habit, it all kept me isolated. I was alone, trapped in my own world of guilt and self-indulgence. And with every passing day, the guilt grew stronger. The realization of what I was doing to myself, the understanding of the harm I was inflicting, it all weighed heavily on me. But the guilt, the shame, they were never enough to stop me. I was caught in a vicious cycle. The thrill of pleasure followed by the crushing wave of guilt. My overall well-being suffered. I was physically drained, mentally exhausted, and emotionally unstable. I was living in a constant state of anxiety, always on edge, always waiting for the next opportunity to escape into my addiction. I was trapped in a cycle of pleasure and guilt, and I didn't know how to break free. Every attempt to quit, every promise to myself, was broken in the face of temptation. My addiction had a firm hold on me and I was powerless to resist. It's a cycle of optimism and despair, of hope and disappointment. But I refuse to let my story end in defeat. The impact of my addiction on my adult life has been significant. It's been a constant shadow, looming over every aspect of my life. It's affected my education, my relationships, and my self-esteem. It's been a barrier, a wall that I have yet to conquer. But every story has its turning point, and I am determined to make this moment mine. I want to take this opportunity to encourage each and every one of you who are listening to my story. If you're struggling with a similar issue, know that you are not alone. There's a whole community out there just like you and me, fighting their own battles every day. Seek help. Reach out to those around you. Find strength in the shared experiences of others. Learn from their successes and failures. Understand that it's okay to ask for help, to admit that you need support. It's not a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to your strength and your desire to change. Let's not fall into the same trap that I did when I was 11. Let's not let our addictions define us. Let's not let our struggles become our identities. Instead, let's use them as stepping stones, as catalysts for change. I am sharing my story not just to confess, but to seek help, advice, and support from you, my viewers. Together, we can break free from the chains of our addictions.